Then we had to deal with the quarterback sneak after
Well,
that.
yeah, and I was going to bring this up, right? Because everybody's talking about the tush push, right? That was a whole topic in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on it, on the play?
Listen. I can because I'm a defensive coach. You certainly want to say, but listen. They have found a way to, really produce on a particular play. The only thing, and maybe you guys remember this, I want to say at one time now, and you guys would know better than me. At one time, Baldy, you couldn't
push
people.
No,
right?
No,
and then now and then they somewhere along the way they changed. You can't pull them,
right?
You can't pull your ball carrier with you. And I just didn't. I don't know if getting however many pounds behind somebody and push them is good for football or not. I'll let the competition committee decide that. But listen, if it's in football, you got to find a way to defend it. And
okay, so I look at this play, Steve, as it's really pure physics. Force equals ma. Force equals mass times acceleration. So my question to you is, I saw the way Chris Jones lined up on the play. He was kind of like almost almost horizontal in the A gap. So I see you trying different things. But what if you did this, Steve? You've got Chris Jones, you've got Wharton, you've got your hogs up front, generally in the A gaps. What if you took your next set of defensive tackles and you pushed the same way that they're pushing, and you just met force with force? I see guys jumping over the top. That's meaningless. That's not
because when you're in the air, you don't have any.
Well, there's no power.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not going to dive too much because if the play's still in, we did have a couple of things. One in particular, we didn't get a chance to use. The only time it came up was that one play.
Right.
I don't think they did it again. Your thought, Baldy, is a really good one because when you talk to rugby people like I have,
yes,
it's exactly what you're talking about. The hard thing comes now. It wasn't on that particular one, but the hard thing is that Philly a lot of times goes right to the line of scrimmage and does it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they don't
get lined up.
Yeah, they don't give you a chance to huddle, get that particular personnel in there.
Yep. Okay.
And so that part of it's a challenge. And if you spend too much time practicing that and they always go no huddle in that situation, you're never able to get to it. So we did have a couple of things. I got some other thoughts. I'm going to keep them, under the hat for right now.
Let me ask you one more question about it, Steve, because I've talked to the officials about this, like how you officiate the play. Right. I know you have too. So they said as soon as, like, if you look at the Josh Allen Baltimore play where he didn't get the first down, whether he did or not, I don't know. But they told me, because I think it's a difficult play to officiate, like when does momentum stop? Okay, and how do you look at that? So they said as soon as the ball carrier, whether it's a quarterback, tight end, whoever's there, as soon as the quarterback or the ball carrier starts going sideways, they should blow the whistle. Now, that seems easier said than done.
I agree. But you know what might fix that now, Baldy? I think recently, if you guys read, they're now this coming year. I think isn't there going to be something in the ball? There's something, there's going to be something, a tracker that's going to help what you're talking about. Now, you bring up a good point about the stopping the momentum and when does no more forward progress. But I think the play that when they put this new rule in and how they're going to track it, I think it was from our Buffalo game when we did stop them. I think we stopped 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, you stopped 3 of them.
There was a question about when they did the replay, did the ball cross the first down macro? So that might get corrected a little bit with the new. I don't know enough about it, but it sounds like the chip system that they're going to use.
Okay.
It was interesting with Buffalo because you did stop it 3 times and they ran it to your side. Did you see that they were always running to the left?
Yeah. There was a particular guy that he wanted to go against, and our guys were all over it. Now, listen, we also had, was there 5, maybe 7, there were 4, 5, or 6 of those in the game. We happened to stop one on the goal line, one on the key 4th down. I mean, in the Philly game, we just had the one. It only came up the one time, and it was on the goal line, and it was just a tough down. But it's a great conversation to have. If they keep it in football, then we're just going to have to keep trying to find ways to to stop it. Baldy, your point about the jumping one
Yeah.
is a good one. We tried that against, it might have been them a couple years back, and Chris Jones tried that. He was in midair, and as big and as powerful he is, he's got no power now because he's
Right.
It's
so,
physics, Steve. Your
yeah,
feet have to be connected to the ground.
yeah,
Like if I'm an offensive lineman, and I
yes,
got Chris Jones in front of me,
I
and it's
agree.
short yards. Forget about tush push. If I'm going to block Chris Jones, if I it's just leave my feet, I'm going to have no power.
No
I'm going to lose
power.
everything.
Yeah,
So I watched, Washington had Frank Luvo jumping over all day long.
yeah.
Well, first of all, they're going low. And
Yeah.
second of all, he's got no power as soon as he's in the air.
Well, that's the
We've
thing too.
talked
Jalen
extensively about
and with
that.
Jalen, the way they run it with Hurts, he's so powerful low.
Yeah.
He
And
gets
he's
so
always
low.
in contact with the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so hard to stop because then he's so powerful. I mean, his legs, we always talk about how, he'll squat, whatever it is. And he's impossible to get that low, to get that force behind it. If you were able to set up Baldy, it's a great idea.